It's no secret, college in the US is expensive, grad school in the US is expensive, and if you've decided to study here, chances are you need a scholarship. But we all know it's not that simple. There may be tons of scholarships out there that you qualify for, but there isn't one single organized way to find all of them. So in today's video, I want to share the tips that I've picked up along the way on how and where to look for scholarships to fund my US education. Sound good? Let's get this video started. First of all, I want to give a special shout out to the YouTuber who asked for this video on scholarships not too long ago. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I hope that today's video answers some of your questions. And to everybody else watching, if there is ever anything you want to see on this channel that I'm not already talking about, please let me know in the comments. I read all of the comments and I appreciate all of the time that you take to talk to me. Finding a scholarship in the US is notoriously difficult. There may be tons of opportunities out there, but everybody knows that they're really hard to find, and when you do find them, they're usually very competitive opportunities. But there are a few things that I've picked up along the way that have helped make the process a lot easier for me, and that's what I plan to share in this video today. As always, the advice is going to be largely based on my experiences, what I've been through, but my goal is to share practical tips that anybody can try out. Also, if you have any more tips that I haven't mentioned in this video, I want to hear them at the end in the comments below. So without further ado, let's get started. The first tip that I have for you is to get good at Google searching. I know that sounds like such a simple, silly piece of advice, but I cannot stress enough how many good opportunities get lost simply because of poor Google search keywords. So if you're looking for scholarships specifically for international students, make sure that you have the keywords international student or international students in the US in your Google search term. If you're looking specifically for scholarships for undergraduate students, make sure that you have the word undergraduate in your Google search. If you're looking for grad school scholarships, you know what to do. And then get creative too. Don't just limit yourself to very generic keywords like college or grad school and international students. Think outside the box. If you're going to medical school, maybe there are some scholarships for international students in the medical field that you might not have thought about. Consider looking up scholarships that are specific to your home country, scholarships for Dutch students in the United States, scholarships for Australian students in the United States. Think about the different categories that you fit into, not just as an international student, but based on your nationality, your cultural identity, maybe even your religious affiliation. Type those keywords into Google, see what comes up. With search engines, you don't want to talk to it like you're talking to a friend. You don't want to say how to find a scholarship for college students in the United States, specifically studying in Iowa. If it gets too specific, you're not going to get the search results you want. Being strategic with your keywords can really affect the types of results that you see. So if you're not seeing the results that you want on Google or whatever search engine that you're using, chances are you might just need to play with your keywords a little bit. The second tip I have for you is to look for scholarship databases. So there are a ton of databases out there that help you pull the different scholarship opportunities there are out there in the internet into one database, so that all you have to do is look through their list of scholarships that they have from different organizations and see which ones you qualify for or which ones you feel like applying to. There are a lot out there, and I feel like people are constantly being entrepreneurial and creating these new databases or trying to make it easier for students. But some of the more popular ones are FastWeb, which you might have heard of. A lot of universities in the US actually mention FastWeb on their own school's websites. My school does, because they tend to have a lot of international student-specific opportunities. Another one that I've recently discovered that I feel like I've gotten the most value out of or have been most surprised by is Scholarly. And before I move on, I just want to quickly say nothing in this video is an ad. It's literally just me sharing my own experiences, what I've been through. None of these are ads. But Scholarly is a really cool platform, in my opinion, that was actually founded by a college student himself. So this student, believe it or not, won like $1 million in scholarships back when he was first applying to college, simply because he was hustling like crazy. He applied for any and every single scholarship opportunity out there. So based on his very unique experience, he created Scholarly because his message is there are just so many opportunities out there that not a lot of students know how to find, and that's what this platform is here for, to help make it easier to connect students with the opportunities they're looking for. And the other message is that sometimes even the smallest scholarship opportunities, like a $200 scholarship opportunity, is worth applying for. And I'm just going to quickly show you how Scholarly works. So as you can see, this is my feed. It's still loading, but you'll see this $11,000 at the top, and that's really just the amount that I have told Scholarly I want to make in scholarships, whether it's from 1 scholarship, 5 scholarships, that's the amount I would like to reach. And if you just scroll down, you'll see all of these opportunities. This is my personalized feed based on what I told Scholarly my interests were, my background was, and just what kinds of opportunities I want to be considered for. You'll see these numbers here. They basically just mean how well matched an opportunity is for you. So kind of matches my background, maybe not so much. Next thing I want to show you is how I get this personalized feed. So if you go into your settings, first of all, you want to set up your profile. It's really simple, straightforward. I get to say that I'm an international student. So this essentially is me telling Scholarly that I don't want to see any opportunities or scholarship competitions on my feed where I would not be qualified as an international student. I'm a grad student. This is important because there are some opportunities that are specifically for undergrads, and I'm a journalism student. Next thing that I wanted to show you is the category section right here in your settings. And remember what I was saying earlier about getting creative with your keywords? This is another way to do that. So Scholarly doesn't just want to know that I'm an international student and that I'm studying journalism and that I'm in grad school. Those are very generic ways to categorize me. Here, Scholarly wants to know what your academic interests are, what extracurricular activities you're involved with, or what your personal interests are, what your financial situation is like, what, your personal affiliations or values are like. You can go crazy with this. Let me just show you really quickly what it looks like. Extracurriculars. So let's see what I have checked for interests. I checked that I am interested in a career in magazines because I am. I'm interested in entrepreneurship, not interested in golf, so I didn't check that. I have no golf experience. So you kind of get the picture, and if you click next, or you can just go straight back to your feed. But yeah, I would really recommend this to you guys. So yeah, I showed you Scholarly. Clearly I'm a huge fan. Again, this is not an ad, but I personally like it. I will disclose that there is a small monthly fee. I think I pay $2.99 a month, but for me, that's a small amount that I'm willing to pay for because of the opportunities that come with it, of the value that I feel like I'm getting out of this membership. There are tons of free databases like Scholarly out there, like FastWeb, and I'll include a few more free scholarship databases in the description box below, so be sure to check those out at the end of the video. The third tip that I have for you today is to look at intercultural organizations. So I'm going to explain what that is. There are a lot of nonprofit organizations, foundations out there that exist to maintain ties between different countries. Particularly in this case, we want to look at ties between the US and other countries. I know that there's a lot of privilege with being able to look at intercultural organizations because not every country has a great relationship with the US, but I would still encourage you to see what opportunities are out there. For example, I am a Dutch citizen, and the Netherlands and the US have this foundation known as the Netherlands America Foundation, the NAF, and the goal of this organization is just to maintain cultural ties between the two countries. So they host events in each other's countries all over the US to promote Dutch culture, to help Dutch people living in the US feel connected to home. And the NAF also happens to have scholarship opportunities, educational funding opportunities for students from both countries going across the pond to each other's schools. I found out about this opportunity too late. By the time I learned about them, I was already enrolled in school and already had the funding that I needed, but it would have been a great opportunity for me had I found out about them earlier. Another example is the FULBRIGHT program, and if you've already studied in the US, then you might know what it's about. And to make sure that I don't butcher what it's about, I'm going to read exactly word for word what their description is on Wikipedia. So the FULBRIGHT program is one of several United States cultural exchange programs with the goal to improve intercultural relations, cultural diplomacy, and intercultural competence between people of the US and other countries, etc., etc. But there are an organization that exists to send people abroad as well as to bring people into the US. I didn't know this because I learned about FULBRIGHT as a college student, and because it's an American program, it's very big on sending US citizens or US residents abroad through some kind of educational program on a full scholarship. But what I didn't know is that the FULBRIGHT program also brings people to the United States, and they mainly partner with US embassies around the world. So I found out that they actually had a program for bringing Singaporeans through the US Embassy in Singapore to the United States. And they also have a FULBRIGHT program in the Netherlands for bringing Dutch citizens who are interested in studying in the United States on full scholarships. What it may take to apply and qualify for a FULBRIGHT program might look differently in different countries. But if this is an opportunity that you hadn't thought of before, hadn't looked into before, I would encourage you to just look up your local US Embassy and to see if there are any educational opportunities, including FULBRIGHT. But don't feel limited to looking at the Fulbright program or specifically looking at funding through your US embassy. Like I was saying before, if you want to find out if there are any intercultural organizations that exist between your country and the US, or just organizations in your country that have funding programs for citizens of your country, you got to get a little creative with your search terms on Google and cast your net wide. You really don't know what's out there. The fourth tip that I have for you is, of course, to look at your own university or your own college to see what merit scholarships are available. Looking for scholarships outside is definitely one thing, but sometimes your school has opportunities that you may have overlooked or you may not have even realized existed. For example, my college, my undergraduate school, was known for its niche in the fine arts. We were very big on choirs, musicals, dance, performing arts, etc. So we happened to have a lot of merit scholarships funding visual artists, funding musicians, funding dancers. I didn't know about this at the time that I applied, so I missed out. I was a very uninformed college applicant and I wasn't thinking creatively to see what opportunities are out there. But my school actually had a few scholarships that were between $2,000 and $5,000. And sure, those are really small numbers when you look at how big my entire tuition bill is, but looking back, if I had known what I know now, I would have absolutely taken advantage of those opportunities, because any few $1,000s makes a difference in lowering my total tuition bill. Depending on what your school is known for or what your school likes to invest in, maybe there are some athletic scholarships you didn't know existed, dance scholarships, diversity scholarships, leadership scholarships. So I would really just look at your school's website, go to your school's admissions page and see if there's any information on that. And if maybe you go to a really big university or you just don't know where to start or find this information, just email your admissions office and just ask. Just type up a quick email and ask where you can find a comprehensive list of all the merit scholarships your school offers, or ask a simple yes or no question. Does this school have any merit scholarships or not? And you don't lose anything by asking. You're sending a simple email to get the information that you need. And even if the answer is no, we don't have any scholarships at this school, then you have your answer. You won't be left hanging, diving through your school's website looking for something that doesn't exist. So sometimes the best thing to do is just ask a simple question and move on with your life. I know a lot of students already know that their school has merit scholarships or might have already checked to see if their school has any, but if you were like me and you didn't know about it until years into your education, I would go check your admissions page and just go ask a simple question. Now that you have a better idea of where to go or where to look for scholarships to fund your education, my fifth tip for you is to apply widely. So I'm not saying that if you found 50 opportunities that you are well matched for, that you go put yourself under pressure and apply to every single scholarship. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there's a huge difference between being rejected for a scholarship versus not applying at all. If you apply for a scholarship and then get rejected for it, that'll be because you actually tried and then were confirmed that it's not possible for you to get this scholarship. But if you don't even apply for one reason or another, you'll never know if you were ever able to get that scholarship. There are so many opportunities out there that I've just kind of let slip through my fingers because I was overwhelmed by having to write an essay, or I didn't know how to write an essay, or I just told myself that it was too competitive anyway, so why try? But sometimes all you have to do is just apply. But again, take it one step at a time. So if there really are 50 opportunities out there that you think you would be a great fit for, don't focus on how you have 50 applications to send out. Take it one step at a time. Maybe make a spreadsheet where you can have one column naming the scholarship, another column with the link to the scholarship application, and then a final column with a yes or no for whether you applied or not. And then maybe just put 2 or 3 scholarships in there and tell yourself that you're going to take this weekend to write 2 scholarship applications. And when you've submitted those, then you can start thinking about any other scholarships you want to apply for. And if you don't end up applying to all 50 opportunities that you're a good fit for, you're not a failure. This is just the kind of advice that works for me because I am somebody who procrastinates a lot. I put things off unnecessarily. But if you're starting to feel overwhelmed and feeling really pressured to submit these applications, take it easy, take a deep breath, and refocus, recenter. At the end of the day, education here is still ridiculously expensive, and I think it's sad that it takes so much grit and grind to get the money that you need. So I hope that the tips I shared in today's video can help streamline your search process or help it make it easier for you to find the opportunities that you need. If there are any more scholarship search tips that I forgot to mention in this video or completely didn't realize to mention in this video, please share them with us in the comments below so that we can all learn about them. If today's video was helpful at all, I would appreciate it if you gave it a quick thumbs up. Hitting that like button really helps this channel. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button below so that you can tune in for more international student conversations like this. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and good luck with the new school year.